Hey guys, welcome back to this three-part build. We've installed the stinger bar from Maximus-3, an awesome company from Detroit. They make a bunch of products that work really well with this Mopar bumper. Now, we've done this install. If you want to check that out, there's a video. This one here, we're going to tackle some lighting. Same thing from Maximus-3, we've got the auxiliary light mount. And this is going to bolt right up to the bumper. It's going to match perfectly and look really good. Once we get that simple install done, we're going to shift our focus to these awesome spotlights by J.W.Speaker. So let's get started. As you've seen before in my winch mounting video, in the stinger video, we took out this filler plate that belongs here. Now when installing this auxiliary light mount, we're going to use a couple of these bolts. So go ahead and take a couple of them off. We're going to use them for this install. Because I bought the stinger, it actually came with a couple more nuts. And that's because they're going to be used with the filler plate bolts. So we're going to go ahead and use a T30 TORX bit for the bolts, and these are going to be 10mm socket for the nut. Okay, so this is simple. We take this awesome bracket, we're going to line it up with the two holes on the bumper. We're going to take our bumper bolts, drop them in, 10mm nuts. We're going to place them on the bottom. Snug that up. Same thing here. That's badass. Again, this bracket is by Maximus-3 and it looks really good. Super well built, heavy duty. The finish matches the bumper and that's a huge plus. Okay, so now we got the mounts on there, but what are we going to put on it? Well, I've run J.W. speakers on my headlights, so I figured let's try them out for some spot beams. I used to have a light bar and it had huge output, it was great. But the thing is, it made a lot of noise, so I thought, okay, I'm going to do a light bar noise video for you guys, show you some ways to make it quieter. Well, guess what happened? The bracket holding the light bar broke. The thing fell off while I was driving. Ever since it's been off, the drive has been so much more enjoyable without the wind noise on the highway. So I've kind of decided to drop some beams down here on the bumper, keep them low, keep them quiet, and it's going to give me plenty of light output. So these are the TS4000s. These are an LED light, and it gives out about 3,300 lumens. So that's quite a bit, and I think I'm going to be happy with this. Plus they look good. I got the black bezel. They also have a chrome, awesome strong lens, polycarbonate. We've got a breather. The mount is super heavy duty. It's going to go right on that bracket we just installed. Got a 9/16 socket here just to tighten these things up. Okay, so next we're just going to do some wiring, and then we can position the beam how we like it to, you know, project down the road and give us a good output. Alright, now these J.W. speaker lights come with everything you need to do some wiring. We got a relay, we got a switch, we got a fuse, and a bunch of connections. The lights also come with some detailed instructions to help you put this thing together. I went ahead and bought a wiring harness. It's going to provide me the wiring that I need, but I'm going to be replacing a lot of the components to match the quality of the J.W. speaker. First things first, I'm going to need to wire these pigtails onto the harness. make sure to insulate our connections with some shrink tubing. Always remember to slide that on before making the connection. Black wire goes to black wire. Red wire goes to red. Once you have a good solder joint, cover it with your shrink tubing and use a lighter to melt it. There's our connection, and we're going to do it one more time. Make sure to use the same fuse that came with these headlights. Place it into your wiring harness. Lucky for us Wrangler owners, it's really easy to run wiring into the cabin thanks to this hole down here. So simply enough, we're going to pass the wiring through and we're going to wire it up to our A-pillar where we have some switches. I have one of these nifty claw things. I'm going to pass that through the access panel. If you have a coat hanger or a piece of string, that could also work. So I'm going to pass this through first. And then grab onto my wire harness. And the wires pass through just like that. If you're running a setup like I am, you run the wires under the dash, and what we're going to do is we're going to run it up along the A-pillar and hook it up to these switches here. So first thing you got to do is use a Phillips head screwdriver and undo the bottom plastic screw. These things are a pain in the butt. Once you get the screw out, the whole thing will pop out, just a plastic rivet. Then we're going to use a T20 and we're going to take off the sun visor. Remove 2 T20 screws. Sun visor will drop out of the way. You can then pull down the plastic molding. Keep in mind there is a connection for your microphone, so undo that. And the pillar mount pops out with some clips. Now that we have the A-pillar removed, we're going to pop off this plastic here. So this is where the wire comes in once you pass it through engine compartment into the cabin. You got your brake pedal, and right up there you can see the wire hanging. We're going to run this wire onto the side, right through this access panel, and then up to the A-pillar, where we're going to connect to our switches. From here we're going to connect and run the rest of our wiring. I like to run the wires along the firewall, zip tying as you go along. We're going to leave our battery connection to the end. And in this case, we're running our wiring right down to the bumper. So I suggest running alongside the airbox and down between the fender and the grille. Now, I've also gone out and bought some split loom, and this is just going to be an additional protection feature to keep the wires from getting kinked or cut. So I'm going to install some of this split loom now. Now that we've run the wire loom down beside the fender, we can connect the lights. So we have our waterproof connection, and it'll connect to the back of the light here. And then our second light. And then we can go ahead and zip tie all these wires out of the way and clean everything up. Once we've run all our wiring, we can use a 10mm socket to install our positive terminal. And then connect your negative terminal. Once you've made all your connections, you can go ahead and zip tie any loose wires and secure your relay. We'll go for a drive at dusk, bring along a 9/16 wrench so we can make sure to aim these down the road properly. We'll also make sure to provide some footage so you guys can see what these things look like. Light beams are pretty awesome and provide a ton of output. If this video helped you out, I hope you like it, comment, and please subscribe because we're going to be doing some more installs on these Mopar bumpers. The next one's going to be some filler plates. Thanks for watching. Bye.